So these days I quite often get asked questions about something that's called the direct path. And most of the time what I teach is meditation, pranayama, asanas, mudras, bandhas, samyama, and a range of self-inquiry practices. Now the direct path is basically a form of self-inquiry, but it's a very high level form of self-inquiry. It's basically where we start to become aware of pure awareness. We start to simply examine the true nature of ourself, of what we really are. And then people will say to me, well, if the direct path is the direct path, why not simply take that? Why bother with all these other spiritual practices? Surely if we want to get home and there's a direct path going straight home, it would make sense to take that direct path. Now, basically, the term direct path is a bit of a misnomer. Okay, it's not an accurate statement. It's not an accurate description. For the vast majority of people in the world, what's called the direct path is actually a huge diversion. Okay, it's the long way round. So it would actually be better if these practices were called the long way round, because that would describe them in a much more accurate way for the vast majority of people. Basically, to be able to benefit from high-level self-inquiry practices and teachings, we have to have a number of things in place. One of those things is inner silence. And to be able to do these high-level practices, we need to have abiding inner silence, quite a deep level of abiding inner silence. We need to have the witness cultivated. We need to be able to observe things without getting caught up in them. We need to be able to observe them simply as they are, without any colouring of the mind. So that's already quite a high stage on the path of yoga. But at the same time, the realizations that come from these high-level spiritual practices will tend to be short-lived. And they tend to be short-lived because of blockages in the subtle nervous system, because of blockages in the chakras and the nadis, the energy channels. So in order to practice these high-level teachings, we need to have quite a high level of inner silence, and to be able to benefit from them, we need to have already done quite a lot of inner purification. In other words, these high-level practices are not the direct path, except for people that have already done a lot of work on themselves. And even when we've already done a lot of work on ourselves, we still need to continue with that in addition to the use of any self-inquiry practices, Advaita practices, direct path practices. Okay, so the yoga, the meditation, mudras, bandhas, samyama, it's all necessary as preparation, and it's still essential as the practice that underpins all the self-inquiry work that we do. Okay, so if you hear the term direct path, be quite skeptical, because for most people it is not the direct path by any means. And treat direct path teachings, Advaita teachings, pure awareness teachings as high-level yoga, advanced stage yoga, suitable for everyone once they reach that point, once they are prepared, once they are ripe. And we become ripe by doing all the rest of the practices. And in fact, the practice of samyama is one of the most effective practices for preparing ourselves for direct path teachings. The practice of samyama involves releasing things into silence. And once we start to use Advaita teachings, non-dual teachings, awareness of awareness teachings, a lot of it is about being able to let go of things. And being able to let go of things we are not. Being able to let go of false identification. Being able to let go of likes, dislikes, aversions, attachments, strongly held beliefs, samskaras, and so on. So meditation cultivates inner silence, pranayama purifies the channels, samyama helps to develop the ability to release things into silence. And then when we start adding jnana yoga, self-inquiry practices, we'll be ready to benefit from them and to reap the fruits of those practices.